everyone. Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Claire Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio. I'd like to start off the show with a lovely 5-star review that I received for my #1 Amazon internationally best-selling book, One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness. The review was, I am so thankful for the opportunity to read this beautiful book. The lessons shared and the vividly described experiences had me hanging on the edge of my seat. I was enlightened and felt as if I was right there through each and every lifetime. I found the messages during each incarnation to be filled with great wisdom. It was so beautifully descriptive as well as educational. I found profound meaning and felt that I was receiving guidance as well as having a better understanding of our own personal journey. This is one of the best books that I've ever read, validating the reasons so many of us are here during our lifetime. I too am an angel practitioner, and I resonated very deeply with the heroine of the story, Ariel. I can't thank you enough for revealing the mystery of what happens between incarnations. This book is definitely a bestseller. I would highly recommend it. Thank you for sharing your beautiful journey with the world. And that comes from DC Love, psychic medium and angel intuitive. To purchase your copies of One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and all my other books, please go to Amazon.com or angelhealinghouse.com. Okay, we are continuing with April's theme of the month, which is abundance in honor of tax time. The Posse of Angels has entitled today's topic, Make a Life Instead of Making a Living. Everyone, in 1 month's time, the Posse of Angels and I will be celebrating, I cannot believe it, the 16th year of my heaven-sent business, Angel Healing House, as I created and established it way back in 2003. And I don't exaggerate when I use the word heavenly sent to describe the past 16 years. And you know what? Come to think of it, if you're going to call your business Angel Healing House, I guess one can expect a couple of miracles along the way. It's often at milestones in our lives that we look back and we review the path along the journey. And with a business especially, many times, people only assess its success or its failure along the journey. by only looking at the monetary, the bottom line. But when I do look at my business, it's given me opportunities to give of my time, my heart, my soul, my unconditional love. And what has come back to me has been more miraculous and so much more valuable than gold. People tell you all kinds of advice when one starts a business. They say, keep accounts, act professional, be responsible, trustworthy, and reliable. But the best business advice that I ever received was from my father, who told me, whatever you do, if you decide to give purely, give openly and generously with all your heart. And remember that the gift is in the giving, as giving is a gift that you give to yourself. And some of the most miraculous results from my giving brought gifts that I could never have imagined, like in this testimonial that I received. My daughter started seeing Candy after a year of fighting cancer. In 4 short sessions, Candy's beautiful words and comforting presence helped my daughter let go of all of her anger and sadness inside. Candy helped my daughter to cross over with peace and dignity and the knowledge that she would be returning to God and her angels. I can't thank you enough for bringing my daughter finally back to peace once more. And that came from Gwen in Culver City, California. And how about this testimonial that I received? You have done more for me than you possibly could ever imagine. I can now love my children again. And that comes from Therese in Coolum, Australia. Everyone, they say that when the student is ready, the master appears. Yet I've always taught my Reiki students that everyone who you encounter in life is your master teacher. That's why you drew them to yourself. So you better pay attention. And the people that I've drawn to myself have allowed me to open opportunities to give love like I never thought possible, like this client's testimonial. I went to Candy because I was recovering from cancer and needed help to release emotional blockages. My sessions with her have been the most loving and caring of experiences in my life, and I continue to receive benefit from ongoing sessions. I can honestly say that at 76 years of age, because of meeting Candy, it was the first time ever in my whole life that I was truly able to feel and experience love. With much love and gratitude, Maggie in Pacific Grove, California. By giving with all of my heart and truly believing in the divinity of all people, I've reignited a spark of love in others and hope for them to choose to heal themselves. That's right. They choose to heal themselves. In fact, I vowed from day one of my business that I would never, ever use the word healer on anything associated with Angel Healing House because I am not the healer. It's the client's recognition of God and recognition of fully loving themselves that finally opens the door for them to experience true healing and for the healing to begin. Now, as a healing practitioner, sure, I am the conduit. I help them to heal, but ultimately, the client gets to make the choice. There is a saying, we teach best what we need to learn most. 16 years ago, because of my finally learning to love myself, connecting with the divine inside of me, my divine eternal nature, and creating heaven on earth, I then went forth to help others love themselves and create their own heavens on earth. My business has been successful because I chose to make a life and not make a living. In choosing to make a life, I chose to do what makes my heart sing and gives me great joy. You know, everyone, when one makes a life instead of making a living, one does not compromise and what breathes life into one's soul merely for the money. One begins to understand that our joy and fruition and what we do is actually an integral puzzle piece of the planet. In making a life, the natural offshoot of that is to be joyful, is to set your soul free to fly and create limitless possibilities. If one puts their emphasis on making a living instead of making a life, the emphasis is off creativity, and the universe then reads this as coming from lack, which will bring to us more lack. Making a living reminded me of a client whose father had grown up during the Depression, very hard times, and he continually lectured his daughter and told her, "You find a good, secure job and then hold on to that job forever." For one never knew if they would ever get another job. My client June, okay, this is not her real name, but let's call her June. June took a governmental job that was secure, and it was one that she hated. She shared with me that she not only didn't like her job, but her relationships never worked out, and she didn't particularly like the place in which she lived. The Posse of Angels were very quick to share that our realities are a wonderful reflection and mirror of the energies that we choose to perpetuate. When I asked her what she did to make a life for herself, she went blank and she replied nothing. When I asked her what she loved doing, well, she didn't hesitate and immediately replied that she loved to cook. The Posse of Angels got very excited. They showed me a vision of a copy of the movie Julie and Julia. Now, for those who may not have seen this charming movie, it's about a young woman who loved to cook. She decides to take Julia Child's book, The Joy of Cooking, and make 365 recipes in 1 year. And then she blogs about it. Well, her passion and her creativity became a best selling book and movie. I suggested that by sharing her passion and her enthusiasm for cooking and baking, that she would switch her very stagnant blah energies within to abundant, sparkling energies by putting her effort and, and into a few things that she liked. I told her that she could blog about her cooking, her recipes. She could start a newsletter, cooking for holidays, cooking for birthdays, children's parties. She could get people to write in their own recipes and lots of etceteras. I then stopped myself and said, "How does all of that sound?" Well, suddenly she became animated and excited. She thanked me as those blah energies inside of her had begun to shift, and she couldn't wait to get started to create and make a life for herself. I told her that this new and excitable energy within her would build up and send out excited, passionate energies that would draw to her opportunities and connections to expand her joy, expand her passion for baking and cooking. Now, the Posse of Angels added that with these excitable energies that draw to herself, then different reasons to be excitable, then she would draw different men to herself. Someone who was bright, excited, and passionate. Excuse the expression, but it sounds to me like a great recipe for love. Now, there is a footnote here. June began to take inspired action and started what became a very successful blog and newsletter on baking and cooking, and she started baking at nights and on the weekends. She used her dormant creativity by coming up with unique packaging, and then she took her baked goods to different cafes in the area to see if they would sell them. And she had many who were so thrilled to feature her baked goods. The demand quickly increased, and she simply had no time to go back to her governmental job, which she didn't particularly like, and she happily left it to bake to her heart's delight. You know, listeners, one of the greatest lessons I had to learn in making a life instead of making a living, and I know that I'm not alone, was to practice the art of allowance. You know, after I prayed and wished and intended for things to happen, I finally learned to let go of how and when those intentions and dreams would be answered, and began accepting exactly what turned up in my life. In this one seemingly simple act, I let go of control and worry and stressing as I took my focus off of expectations and I put it on living. This is because God and the angels are masters. They're masters of dealing with details of our lives. They do not get distracted by egos and physical limitations, but they deal in the realm of limitless, miraculous answers to our prayers. And the Posse of Angels are telling me that although we may not like to hear it, most of the time, it is we that stop our prayers from being answered by putting restrictions, limitations, and expectations on our lives. We live in the most remarkable, giving, and abundant universe whose only job is to see that its only job is to see that our prayers are answered. But this can only happen if we open to receive and allow the universe full reign to give to us in the most perfect way that it chooses to answer our prayers. My life totally changed 16 years ago when I chose to make a life for myself, and thank God for, for my life just the way it was. When I made that decision from one day to the next, I tell you, my finances didn't change. I still had not found my cherished love, and in every way my circumstances remained the same. But you know, I decided to focus on and joyously announce to the universe how blessed I was for my extraordinary life that I was co creating with God. And in so doing, I discovered who I am is in fact inextricably linked with what I love doing. And as a result, ever since 2003, I felt whole and complete by allowing myself creative expression through writing and authoring books. I've even written a screenplay with my husband, articles for magazines, writing my own radio programs for 8 years, and helping others to find their light and their hope within themselves. In fact, there's not a day that goes by that I do not write. It is my form of self expression. I've mentioned before that I have never written for the money or the success, although these things have come as a result from my writing. I've had many people say that they've had ideas for books, but they do not know if people will like their work or if the books would sell. Let me tell you, there is nothing that will stop a writer faster in his or her tracks than to worry whether the public is going to like their work. Actually, we need to shift our focus away from what we cannot control, as we cannot control what others think about our work. But if we are passionate, excited, enthusiastic about our subject matter, that is all that we need to value our ideas enough to be a loyal scribe to them. Please, everyone, stop paying attention to society's feedback about the value of what gives meaning to your life and what society deems should make you feel worthy and wealthy. We rarely can measure the value of what we create immediately after we express it, as the value of what we do will unexpectedly evolve over time. Perhaps your intuition is urging you to write a book, write a movie, compose a song, paint a painting that will give inspiration, motivation, and have a deep effect on someone you may never, ever meet. I recently saw the movie it's called At Eternity's Gate, and it stars Willem Dafoe, who plays the painter Vincent van Gogh. In the 1800s in which he lived, Van Gogh created such an unusual, different way of painting that nobody understood or appreciated his work, and he remained penniless and dependent on his brother his whole life. He spoke openly about hearing voices, what we call channeling today, and that he felt compelled to paint what he saw energetically from his perception. Because he was so odd and not normal by society's standards, he was committed to mental homes on different occasions. One of the most poignant scenes in the movie was when a priest was sitting with Van Gogh in one of these church mental homes, and the priest was looking at one of his paintings and suggested that he should stop painting as no one ever bought his paintings. Not one of his paintings ever sold. To which Van Gogh said that he heard voices that compelled him to paint even though no one bought his work. He then added that he was painting for those people who had not been born yet, who would see his work with different eyes. In 2015, one of Van Gogh's paintings sold at Sotheby's auction house for $66.3 million. When we are fully expressed, we feel prosperous, acknowledged, heard, and recognized, not by others, but by ourselves. Perhaps our creative expression will be shared and help others to be able to be inspired to express themselves as well. By passionately expressing ourselves, we make a life in which we feel rich, as what we create is so very important to us. And because like attracts like, it is through our courage to make a life by expressing ourselves that others, under all varied and miraculous synchronicities, can then be able to find us. You've been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. Remember that Angel Healing House Radio airs every week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, here right on Transformation Talk Radio. We got a few minutes before we go to the break, I want to remind everyone that in 2 days' time, on April 19th, we have the second Libra full moon of the year. Now, the first Libra full moon that was back on March 20th, that one opened up a portal of possibilities for us. The portal of energy has been shifting ever since then and guiding us to find balance in our lives and to think about ways that we can elevate ourselves even higher and feel more aligned and at one with ourselves. Now that that portal is coming to a close, we have to turn to our relationships in our lives and figure out what we need to let go of and what needs to shift. While the first Libra full moon was finding balance within, This second Libra full moon on the 19th is about finding balance again with others and our relationships. To help us, this 19th full moon will bring us excitement, and it will bring us unexpected change and a feeling of freedom. Many will feel a strong urge to break free from their routines by doing something totally different from their normal activities. But don't allow these unexpected changes and disruptions to cause you to feel restless and nervous, especially if you don't like surprises. Being flexible and open minded will make events more pleasant and exciting for you. As always, remain calm, choosing to see that everything that you draw to yourself is for your highest good. Then you can get excited about those unexpected surprises and the fortuitous opportunities and connections that just may be the answers to your wish fulfillment. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will take some of your calls for those free angel readings with myself and my wonderful angelic family, the Posse of Angels. We will see you after the break.
Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today. To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Hello, everyone. You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. The first part of the show today, we were speaking about the topic, make a life instead of making a living. Because when you make a life, you tap into your creative powers, that seed of creativity that God placed, you and God co-created to place in your soul. And when you're doing it, you lose all track of time. You are passionate, excitable, and those energies go out to create a passionate, joyous, excitable life. So do tap into those creative energies and see where they take you. Let's go to our first caller. We have Trish on the line from Hollywood, California. Trish, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you today?
Great. How are you, Candy?
I
Nice
am.
to hear your voice.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to speak with you. What's happening in your world?
Everything. I'm kind of on the cusp of leaving my husband, waiting on approval for an apartment, selling my house inheritance, and trying to focus on getting a new job and new career. So I guess I just need an overall reading on how all of that is going to come into play.
Okay. You know, when they say it rains, it pours. And
Yes.
and the word that I heard as you were explaining all of those life-changing things is just breathe. Just stay in the present moment. Don't get too far ahead of yourself and try to figure out all of this. Uh, just say, I just need to stay in the present moment. I just need to deal with what's in front of me by taking 3 or 4 very deep breaths. Then just, attend to what's in front of you with grace, with calmness, and know that that posse of angels are saying everything is working out for your greatest good and the greatest good of everyone, Trish. The culmination of all of these things didn't happen overnight. They've been coming for a very, very long time. And you just got to the tipping point. And the tipping point was that you had shifted enough so that a lot of these things were no longer in alignment with where you had shifted to be who you are, to express yourself honorably, respectfully, and to value yourself. And now you've taken action to do that. So their their advice to you is just to breathe and remain in that state of grace whenever you're dealing with anything. So that's going to help enormously. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out, just as a general read for you as you're traversing through all of these new things. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles comes out. The Seven of Pentacles is reaping what you've sown. Okay, and I think that's why they asked me to speak about taking steps to honor yourself, taking steps. Also, they also want you to know that those things that you're maybe undoing now or unraveling or bringing back into alignment, never blame, never find fault, and never feel that you were a victim, because you created everything that happened in order to teach you a lesson. Some of those lessons might have been tolerance, patience, acceptance for some people who were 180 degrees opposite in contrast to who you were. But our best lessons come in adversity and hardship, because we'll really learn the lesson here in human form. So you're now creating a whole new life for you. And whatever decisions and choices you make, always make them with grace. Always. And if any time anything does come back from the past to haunt you or to set you off of that line of grace, all you need to do is say thank you. Thank you to that person, to the events. I don't care whatever it is, because if it was there, you co created it. And thank you. I thank you. And I'm so appreciative and grateful for that. Didn't help me to shift to where I now find myself. The next card that's coming out for you is the Eight of Swords. And I know why this card is coming out for you, because this is the trust card. She's blinded. She has a blindfold on, and there are 8 swords around her. She looks like she's bound, but she could get herself away from this situation in any moment. So it's trust. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust your intuition. Trust your guides and angels are always there to protect and guide you. And the next card that's coming out for you is the Strength card. You know what? You got 788, and the 8 cards are about this feeling of wealth, richness, this feeling of being able to overcome anything and to be able to deal with this. And the eights are about feeling prosperous. So I hope this has been helpful for you. It's a wonderful reading.
Yes.
It's a magical time for you, Trish. And always remember those words: grace and dignity and integrity. Those are the 3 words they're giving you. And just stay in the magical present moment.
Thank you, Candy. This is so helpful and uplifting and hopeful, because it's it's guiding me to where I know my heart is, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's easy to start doubting and get frightened and scared, especially when we're at the cusp and we're just waiting on a decision here or there, and it seems like it's not happening.
Absolutely. And they're also stressing that it's divine timing, and you wouldn't want to change divine timing because if it happens sooner, it's not going to happen as miraculously and as wonderful for everyone concerned.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Candy.
Okay, take care of yourself. God bless you, Trish. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh my gosh, so many of us have gotten to this point in April, in mid-April, where we are now, and we are sensing the changes that are coming up. That message for Trish is a great message for all of us: integrity, dignity, and grace. Just deal with what's in the present moment. Don't get too far ahead of yourself, because any future is always determined on what happens in the present moment. Let's go to our next caller. We have Luba. Luba is in Los Angeles. Hi, Luba from Los Angeles. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? What
I'm
a great
very,
show.
what's that?
What a great show. I
Oh,
love it.
thank you so much. Well, yeah, we're here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If people do miss it, they can go to my host page on Transformation Talk Radio, because
Oh,
all the different shows are archived there.
I love it. I love it so much. And I feel like you pretty much answered all my questions today.
Well, do you want a general reading?
Yes, please. And I like the theme of abundance. And I think we all kind of wish to have that in our lives. And what you said already made sense to me. I was like, okay, this is great. I'm just gonna pray for it and relax and do my goods, and everything will show up when it needs to, right?
And that's it. You could have your own show. Maybe that's something that you should look into, Luba, with your wise words of advice. But I will pull some cards for you.
Yes, thank you so
Uh,
much.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah, and many of us, as I said, many of us, like Luba, like Trish, we are on the cusp of making, of on the of anticipating the new that's coming in for us, because just because we've served in one way, it doesn't mean that we won't be offered another way to serve. And in the meantime, just be grateful and appreciative for the things that you do have, because when we're appreciative and we're so much in joy and gratitude for the things that we do have, it's amazing how much more we are given, because it's all about the feeling that we have. It's not about you can visualize things, you can do affirmations, they're very important, but it's the feeling. So every time, you eat a meal and you say, thank you for this lovely food. I say, thanks God for food. Thank you for, my house. Thank you for my beloved husband. Thank you, whatever it is. If we're appreciative for what we have, we will be given more. That is the golden rule. And when the golden rule speaks, it gives it gives Luba the Ace of Pentacles. Now, abundance.
Oh
And
wow.
you said abundance. Um,
Yes.
you have been asking. They want you to know that all prayers are heard. That you have been
Mm.
asking for more abundance in your life, whether that abundance is material goods, it's money, whether it's a new car or a new house, or whatever that is. But they want you to know that your prayers have been heard, and new opportunity
Yes.
but new opportunities are coming in. So what they want you to do, Luba, is they want you to sit for like 10 or 15 minutes, every single day. You can light a candle, you can light some incense. You don't have to do any of that, but I like the traditions. And you close your eyes and you say at the top of your voice, thank you. Thank you for my new fill in the blank. Thank you for my new
Mm,
job or opportunity or business. I get to work with like minded people. I get to work in such a wonderful environment. I get to do what I love to do, and I get paid to do this. I cannot believe that I co created this with God and then feel what it feels like to go to sleep every night knowing that the next morning you are going to either a job, an opportunity, a business, or whatever in which you get to do what you love and you get financially remunerated for it. And it's this feeling in your heart that trumpets the feeling out to the angels, to the universe, to God. They know you better than you know yourself, and you will be
mm.
brought an opportunity to do what you love doing, and then you will make a
Oh, I
life.
love that.
The next, oh my gosh, you should go out and buy a lotto ticket. The next one is the Three of Pentacles. This is getting paid and recognized and promoted for what you love doing.
Oh, finally.
Oh my gosh. So,
Yes.
all that's what you need to do every night. Thank you, thank you, thank you for
Thank
my wonderful opportunity, and say it with such
you.
feeling as if it already happened. Because just the minute that we think something, it appears across the veil in heaven, because there's no time in heaven. But we here in these
Mm.
physical dense bodies have to wait on earthly time. So you've got two cards of pentacles there, and I'm picking you got you got the Eight of Pentacles. I don't believe this. You got three pentacle cards, which are about money and material wealth. And
Really? What?
this card is the being remarkable card. The being remarkable card is working at what you love doing and being paid for it. So I would put my
Mm.
money on you. Forget a lotto ticket. This is just, I mean, everyone, look at this. Looky see on
Wow.
Luba. Looky.
Ah, I'm I'm so happy. Thank you.
You're
That's
very, very welcome.
that's
Please,
awesome.
whatever happens, do call back into the radio show, because I, for one, would love
Yes.
to know how this is going to pan out for you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for advice on the April 19th. It's a very special day for me as well. It's my daughter's birthday, and I believe it's like super, super amazing. And so it's a Libra. Libra is in relationships, right?
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Absolutely. So take
I'm
care of yourself,
excited.
sweetheart. God bless you.
Thank you so much. You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Thank you so much, Lou. But let's go to our next caller. We've got Corinna. Corinna's in California.
Yes, hi.
Hi,
How are
Corinna. How are
you?
you?
I'm doing well. Doing well,
Good.
thank you. The reason for my call is because I've talked to you in the past. I asked for some recommendations in regards to some job offers, and you told me not to take the first one. And it technically wasn't the first one, but I went ahead and grabbed the one that I was asking about at that time.
Hmm.
And so then later on, I realized that there was another job offer that was a lot more convenient. That I obviously, because I took the one I talked to you about, which was not technically the first one, but um, another job offer came up, and then it was more convenient, and obviously I couldn't take it because I had already taken one. It's still on the table, and I am so comfortable where I am. It's one of those things, where there's two conveniences, and I don't even know which one's the better one for me,
Right.
in a sense. And I wanted to kind of know, what you had, what the angels would say about this.
Okay. They're saying, if uh if money were not an issue, let's say you had Oprah's money. Okay, bing, waving the magic angel wand. Ta-da! You have Oprah's money, and you have these two jobs in front of you. Um, which one would you choose? It's not a matter of money.
Ah, that's very interesting because yeah, the one that's the most convenient
No, we're not talking about
would.
convenience. Because if you have Oprah, everything is convenient, when you can take a jet there. You can get a chauffeur-driven limousine. You could, whatever it is. Which one would you do? Now that's hard for many people to fathom because, they keep saying, yeah, but but that's what the Posse of Angels are saying. Which one would your heart is driving you towards?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I don't know. You know, it's kind of the only reason why that other job would be better is because I would be closer to my child.
Mhm.
But where I am, I'm settled. I'm happy. Um, Technically, I could be closer to him here as well. It's
Mhm.
just I'm moving around. So I don't know. It's a very difficult
Okay,
question, I guess.
what we'll do is we'll completely give it over to the Posse of Angels and we'll say the job that you have now is job number 1 and the other job is job number 2.
Hmm.
Okay, you took job number 1 and you signed on for that one and then afterwards job number 2 came along.
Correct.
Okay. The Posse of Angels are saying stick with one.
Hmm.
And they're
That's
saying
what I was feeling.
yeah,
Hmm.
good. And
Go
they're
ahead.
saying stick with one for a number of reasons, which you don't have to know
Hmm.
because
Right.
because we are on a need to know basis as spirit in
Hmm.
human form. That your angels know you better than you know yourself. But all they're doing at
Hmm.
the moment is they're saying yes to the first. And the
Mm.
second,
Very good.
and the second one, they're saying for whatever reason, they're saying they're not going to go into it, but for whatever reason, it's not for your highest good, the greatest good, and the greatest good of everyone else. Let's go to the cards. So that should put your mind at rest. You don't,
Correct.
so much of the time as human beings, because of our ego, we want to figure things out, and
Don't we?
sometimes we don't have to figure things out. We just have to say, okay, I know in my heart that I feel like the job that I have now is the best, and then I don't have to worry about the second one. So I feel I feel a lightness that's come over you, like, oh, that's nice, that's good. So all I have to do is just be grateful for this one job, the job that I'm in now, and release whatever energies that are heavy on my heart. Okay, the first card that's up for, and I'm not surprised, is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is, well, it's traditionally the spilt milk card. It's the card of looking at what you don't have instead of what you do have. So now, with this knowledge that the Posse of Angels gave today, is to put your gratitude and appreciation on thanking them for the job that you do have and blessing that. Okay. And then not even worrying about that other job. The next card that's coming out for you is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the working hard card. This is the diligent card that brings in the abundance and the wealth and the riches. So focus. Now you can turn your focus to what you do have instead of what you don't have. And this is the next. You have two knights, which are about the action. Knights are always about action. This is about a movement card. It could be also about traveling, but there will be, now that you've um, stopped your energy from being dispersed to worrying about that other job, you will contain that, and then you will be able to manifest more. And there'll be movement in your manifestations. So I hope that's been helpful for you.
Very, very much. It definitely has lifted something, and I know that my gut feeling was correct, even though there were some conveniences that were nice. But yeah, my heart is definitely here. Thank you so
Good.
much.
I'm so
I really
glad. Take care. God bless you. Take
God
care.
bless
Bye
you.
bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Let's go to our next caller. We have Annabelle. Annabelle in Los Angeles.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Thank
Good.
you.
What's your question today, Annabelle?
Well, I guess I'm just feeling at a bit of a crossroads right now. I've had a lot of stuff to overcome, and a lot of stuff's been settled in the last couple of weeks, but now I feel like it's this new chapter. But I just feel a little bit exhausted and feel like overwhelmed from I guess the last year and a half or something. So I'm just trying to feel like mustering the energy for like this new chapter and work and everything like that.
Okay. One of the greatest things that you can do is you can give yourself credit. And you don't give yourself enough
Yeah.
credit. It's always looking for what the next thing is. I feel your adrenals, you're exhausted. Do you take any vitamin B?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. I don't know whether you want to up your dosage or maybe it's just a question of nurturing and nourishing yourself. Take time for those
Yeah.
Epsom salt baths, that walk out in nature, but really know that you've done an amazing job and you don't give yourself enough credit. You don't put your emphasis on what you've done and how much you've shifted. It would be great to
Yeah.
sit 10 to 15 minutes every single day and say, I am that I am. I'm enough.
Yeah.
I don't have to do
Yeah.
anything I don't have to produce anything. I don't have to do anything to be worthy and deserving. And just sit with that feeling that you are a child of God and you are worthy and deserving. So many of us who are doers, and I put my hand up because I'm a Libra and I'm just wired that way, that it's on to the
Yeah.
next thing. So they want you to
Yeah.
say that it's not business as usual for you now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Four of Swords comes up, which is the rest card, because you do need to recharge and re-energize for what's coming up. So really, uh,
Yeah.
take the time out to give yourself credit, to really nurture and recharge yourself. Let's go to the cards and see what's on the boards for our lovely
Okay.
Annabelle. You have worked so hard to get yourself to this stage. Don't get burnt out because then when stuff starts to manifest, you won't have the energy to enjoy it.
To
You
enjoy. Yeah.
you have a new start coming up. Here is the Fool, and the Fool is anything but a fool in tarot. The Fool is the Posse of Angels want you to be more childlike. They want you to
Okay.
recapture your wonderment and enchantment about life.
Mhm.
The Fool card, yes, it's about starting over, but this is about allowing yourself to be led by God. And
Yeah.
that requires, for somebody that's trying to figure life out, that requires you to surrender and to release and to be
Yes.
to go in the direction that God and the angels wish for you to go in. The next card that's coming out for you is the Six of Swords, and they want you to know that you are traveling to smoother waters. Life will get better, but you need to have that re-energized and recharged soul in order to enjoy what's coming up. And then the next card that's coming out for you is the Queen of Pentacles. This is the card of luxuriating. This is the card of enjoying the wealth and the prosperity. Has nothing to do with money, truly, but luxuriating in what you've created. These are really beautiful cards, and they do
Yeah.
all portend wonderful things coming up for you. But they're saying, please, oh, they're saying, please, beloved Annabelle, don't be so hard on yourself and really take this time to energize your beautiful soul.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds. I feel like that at the moment. That's exactly how I feel.
Oh,
I
it's
feel like I need to
it's bringing me to tears. They're just wrapping their wings around you and saying, "Please be kind to our beloved Annabelle."
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
great. That's good to hear.
God
Thank
bless
you
you.
so much.
Have fun re-energizing.
I will. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that just about wraps our show today. Thank you to all our many callers that we had online. Thank you, everyone who's listening. Thank you, everyone who is referring and recommending your friends and family and everyone to Angel Healing House Radio. Do remember, Angel Healing House Radio with me, Claire Candy Hough, airs every week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you would like to purchase my book, please go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com or amazon.com, to find out more about Angels of Faith, about us being divine and eternal, one true home behind the veil of forgetfulness, and its sequel, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of me, Angel Ariel. All can be gotten on my website and also on Amazon.com. Do remember, everyone, to go out and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself this week. I'm wishing you love. And as always, angel blessings. And I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.